Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about how to stay focused and stop procrastinating. I'm going to break this video into two parts. The first one, we will talk about what is procrastination and the consequences of procrastination. The second part, I'm going to talk about several main reasons for procrastination and how to tackle them individually based on the nature of the cause. Okay, let's get started. So what is procrastinate? Let's check the dictionary. Okay, the Cambridge Dictionary said procrastinate is to keep delaying something that must be done, often because it is unpleasant or boring. In fact, we all procrastinate, more or less. It is actually human being to procrastinate, and it's in our genes. Reason why is that it's because we tend to think short term rather than the long term. That's why we mainly focus on what's happening in front of us. That's why we tend to procrastinate those things that are not that urgent naturally. So it is totally natural for people to procrastinate. We just have to be cautious and be aware of that and consciously avoid doing that. So if procrastination is human nature, why we should avoid procrastination? Procrastination may relieve pressure at the moment, but it could have steep emotional, physical, and practical costs later on. Students who routinely procrastinate tend to have lower grades. Workers who procrastinate produce lower quality work, and in general, habitual procrastinator can experience well-being issues. Procrastination also could jeopardize your personal and professional relationships. In addition to that, procrastination also has a very clear link to depression. See, those are all the possible consequences of procrastination. That's why it's very important for us to understand why we are doing procrastination. That's why it is important for us to cautiously avoid procrastination. Okay, so now we have a good understanding of what is procrastination and the possible results of procrastination. Next, we are going to talk about 4 main reasons for procrastinations and how to beat procrastinations based on each individual reasons. So the first reason for people to procrastinate is the task isn't urgent. Either it's a crying baby or raining form or something urgent on the calendar. People tend to neglect the things that are not in front of them. They tend to deal with the things that is right in front of their face. It's harder for us to prioritize tasks that aren't that urgent. Whether it's, for example, cleaning the basement or saving up for your retirement, it seems a bit like further away. In fact, we all have things that we never get around to it as a result. So tasks, big or small, get neglected and sits at the bottom of our to-do lists, therefore like months, even for years sometimes. So the solution for that is we need to think about the bigger picture. This annoying tendency of focusing more on the present actually has some evolutionary significance. So humans are weird to consider the needs of the present much more than the needs of the future. This phenomenon is called time or temporal discounting. So time or temporal discounting. Research investigates differences in the relative valuation placed on rewards, usually money or goods, at different points in time by comparing its valuation at an earlier date with one for a later date. Evidence shows that present rewards are weighted more heavily than future ones. Once rewards are very distant in time, they cease to be valuable. So the research was done by asking people questions such as, would you rather receive $100 today or $120 a month from today? Or would you rather receive $100 a year from today or $120 a year and 1 month from today? Results show that people are happier to wait an extra month for a larger reward when it is in the distant future. So, as a result, values placed on rewards decrease very rapidly for small delay periods and then fall more slowly for longer delays. I think this makes perfect sense because the present is in our face, so naturally we paid more attention. So the remedy to that is to take a broader perspective rather than looking at the day-to-day tasks. For example, if you've been wanting to go back to school, but it seems that you never get around to it, maybe take a step back. Just take a step back and have a think about what would this mean to you, what is your goal, and what is your value around education in general. And what do you want to achieve in life? What do you want to do in the future? Or what do you want to study for you to achieve your goal? Once you have a deep thought on that, and you will have a better understanding of your goals and objectives, I think that will be very helpful for you to get started and take action. So once you start taking action, then that's already tackle the procrastination you've been holding yourself back. So another examples would be quitting smoking or drinking. So once you start thinking in the long term, for example, how would alcohol or cigarettes affect your health in the long term, and how that would affect you and your family, you probably would consider quitting, which stop you from procrastinating quitting. So the second possible reason for procrastination is unsure how to start. Too often we find ourselves procrastinating because we are not too sure what to do first. We feel overwhelmed, confused, or we put off get started because we are not too sure what the first step is. So this kind of procrastination is less an avoidance of the tasks and more an avoidance of the negative emotion. Actually, no one really likes to feel incompetent or clueless. Who can blame those people on turning their attention to Netflix or doing other tasks such as like just cleaning the bathroom or cleaning the wardrobe? This type of procrastination is called productive procrastination. Productive procrastination is the act of being busy while still procrastinating on your most valuable tasks. Even though you might work 8 to 10 hour workdays and you feel productive, you're still not truly productive. In reality, by keeping yourself busy with a lot of to-dos, you distract yourself from doing the work that is truly important and impactful. Productive procrastination is, firstly, you need to acknowledge and accept how you feel. The key is to acknowledge that it is normal for you to feel overwhelmed or stupid when you are just starting out on something, especially it's the first time for you to do this task. Therefore, you can start figuring out what is the steps to tackle this task or to tackle this project. Alternatively, you may need some help from an outsider to get started, or you need to talk to a coworker tasks for you to have a better understanding of what to do. Remember, it is totally okay for the beginning of the task to involve a lot of pivots or do-overs or messed up. And don't ever think this is bad or don't think it in a very negative way. Just totally accept this and try your best and be very positive. Another cause for procrastination is afraid of failure. A lot of times it comes down to perfectionism. Actually, perfectionism not necessarily always a bad thing because high standard normally lead to high level work. But sometimes perfectionism have its side effect or negative effects. So we blow off the projects and convinced that we are not good enough or there's no way for us to meet the standards we set. The solution for that is untangle performance and self-worth. Perfectionism and procrastination are linked, but it is not necessarily the sky-high standards that slow you down, but the sky-high standards mixed with a belief that your performance is tied to your self-worth. That combination can grind you to a halt. Always remember the crucial difference between who you are and what you achieve. There is so much more to your worth than your accomplishments, your identity, family, passions, experiences, travels, friends, politics, taste, knowledge, challenges you've overcome, and most importantly, how you treat other people. Last reason for procrastination is just simply don't want to do the work. I have to admit that sometimes what we have to do is quite boring. And it is hard. It is 3 p.m. on Friday afternoon and it's sunny outside, but we stay in the office and do the work. We'd rather be doing something else, right? There are certain things no one ever wants to do. For example, taxes, calling customer services, getting off the couch and go to bed. How can we make ourselves to do something that we just don't want to do at all then? So the solution to that is break the large jobs into achievable chunks and celebrate completing. I think it is always not easy to get started on something we don't feel like doing. But if this is a job takes a long time to complete, then if you list down the milestone or if you list down or if you break this project or task into small tasks, and it will make the whole task seem easier and less daunting. If you do that and you set certain timeline or due dates for you to keep track of these small tasks, I think it will be very helpful for you to keep yourself remember those tasks. And once you complete one task, you can reward yourself for something. For example, a nice meal or like a break for a video game or just watch something for relaxing. Yeah. Once you achieve each single task, you just tick, tick, tick. Then when you go back and look at the list, you will feel a sense of achievement. and it's actually easier for you to complete the whole thing over time. Okay, to summarize, today we talked about what is procrastination and the consequences of procrastination. Accordingly, we talk about the reasons behind the procrastination and several types of procrastination and how you can tackle procrastination based on different reasons. Yeah, hopefully, you found today's video helpful. So to summarize, if you want to stop procrastination, look at the big picture. Know it is okay and dazed and acknowledge your own feeling and understanding fully that it is totally fine to feel overwhelmed or confused if you don't know what to do with certain things that you have to do. And also, if you ever need any help, reach out to people if needed. Another thing is, if you just simply don't feel like doing something, then the best solution for that is break the task into small bits so that you can do little bit over time, so that it feels like more accomplishment and less daunting. Yeah, I think the most important thing is you need to know yourself why you procrastinate. So work with your tendency to procrastinate. Hopefully you find today's video very helpful, and if so, please give me a like button down below, and also please leave a comment if you found yourself procrastinate or you found any tips or tricks to avoid procrastination. Feel free to share with everyone in this channel. Also, please don't forget to subscribe my channel. I update personal growth and self-development and self-care topics regularly. So my previous video is about anything worth doing is worth doing poorly, which is relevant to what I talked today. So if you're interested, feel free to check out the link above to my previous video. Hopefully you will like that. Just remember it does take time to build up a habit or break a bad one. So need to be patient and remember single little growth or development or improvement every single day would accumulate to a big progress over time. We'll see you next time. Bye.